Sup you beautiful people. Hope you've had a fantastic day. Welcome back to another new episode of What If Naruto Was in the Marvel Universe. If you guys enjoyed this what if, comment down below and let me know. And go ahead and check out other what ifs in the channel after watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and also share this video with your friends. So now let's start this video. Stanley's Pizza Parlor, Willowdale, Virginia. May 13, 2010, 2030 local. I can't believe this place isn't famous. Eric exclaimed while eating a slice of pepperoni pizza. It's better than some New York pizzeria. Stan released a hearty laugh before answering. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. You should, old man. Eric replied with a smile. Bruce just listened in on the conversation while eating quietly. The pair have been bunkering down at some of Stan's free rooms. They're just waiting for Mr. Blue to contact them that he's ready. The current setup is making Eric a bit nervous since they have stayed in the same place for more than a night. Unknown to everyone, this night is about to get more interesting. Elizabeth Ross or Betty is currently walking towards Stan's pizzeria. However, she's not alone. She's with her date, Leonard Sampson, a psychiatrist at Culver University. Betty is a 5'6" Caucasian woman with black hair and hazel green eyes. She's a medical doctor who primarily teaches and does research. It was in a hallucinogenic drug experiment that she and Bruce first met. There was an immediate attraction between them. It didn't take long before they become official. After 5 years of a strong and healthy relationship, Betty fully expected for them to get married after they become financially stable. That's why she practically forced Bruce to accept her father's job offer to recreate the super soldier serum. The end of contract payment for both of them would more than enough to allow them to pay for a wedding and a house with a lot more to spare. With the benefit of hindsight, she should have known that her father would place a priority on national security rather than family. He manipulated Bruce to do a dangerous experiment on himself, as soon as he figured out that Bruce is hooked on the project. That's when the incident happened. Bruce's rampage had caused her to enter into a coma. When she woke up, Bruce was already considered a fugitive. She tried to make contact with Bruce, but her father had always hindered her effort. It was only 4 years later that she decided to date again. I could say a pizza parlor is a great place to eat at night. Leonard commented. I order one in at least once a week. You never tasted Stan's pizza, Betty replied with a smile. Although, if one looks closely, one could see an undercurrent of pain in Betty's smile. Leonard, being the gentleman that he is, walked in, went ahead of Betty, and opened the door. Eric is still eating his pizza when he saw a couple approaching the store. Squinting his eyes a bit, he recognized the woman in Banner's dossier. Fuck. Is this how Naruto feels most of the time? Eric mused to himself before looking towards Bruce. No questions asked. Go towards the bathroom and don't look back. Weeks of traveling with Eric had taught Bruce to follow his orders that starts with no questions asked to a T. The last time he tried to play nice and loose with the rules, they almost got into a shootout with the Mexican cartel. The situation had nearly made him turn green. Bruce jumped up from his seat and marched to the bathroom. Eric, on the other hand, pulled out his phone and speed-dialed Naruto. We may have encountered a problem, Eric said as soon as Naruto answered. Ross's daughter is about to enter the pizzeria. Bruce and I are staying in with the date. I'm coming, Naruto replied without a second thought. I want to see what's gonna happen next, he added before ending the call. As soon as the call ended, the bell on the door rang, indicating that someone opened the door. Eric looked back at the door and saw the couple walking in. Betty? Stan greeted one of his longtime customers before looking at Leonard with an assessing eye. I see you brought someone, eh? Betty walked towards Stan and gave him a firm hug. It's good to see you too, Betty greeted back with a smile. This is Leonard. He's a psychiatrist from Culver. She then turned towards Leonard. This is Stan, the best pizza maker in Virginia. Leonard extended his hand towards Stan, who promptly shook it. Good evening, Leonard said. Good evening to you too, Stan replied. Let me whip you up something, he continued before walking towards the kitchen. Eric moved Bruce's food and utensils behind the counter while the trio was greeting each other. He opted to stay seated at the counter to keep watch of the couple, and if Bruce decided to do something stupid as peeking out the door. The couple continued to talk to each other, and Eric could see that Betty is just not into her date. He could also feel a few curious glances from Betty, probably because he's still there even after the pizzeria has supposedly closed up. It was another 8 minutes later when Stan walked out of the kitchen with a pepperoni pizza in one hand and a pair of lasagna in the other. Eric stood up from his seat and went to the bathroom to check on Bruce. Here you go, Stan said while putting the meals down. Thanks, Stan, Betty replied. No problem. I'll leave you two to it. Stan was about to walk back to the counter when she was stopped by Betty. Before you go, Betty started. Who's the military guy who was seating there? Oh, don't worry about him, Stan answered. He's just a friend of a friend. Eric entered the toilet and saw Bruce leaning on the wall. He made sure to lock the door behind him. Somebody found us, Bruce asked while walking back and forth. Not exactly, Eric replied while scratching the back of his head. Your ex decided to stop by. His statement effectively stopped Bruce in his tracks, but it gets worse. She's with a date. All I got is Leonard. Bruce slowly walked back to the toilet seat and sat down. Sorry, man. Bruce remained silent for a few moments, trying to push through the unexpected heartache. It's okay, Bruce whispered. It's been 5 years, can't expect her to keep her life on hold. While Eric and Bruce are having a conversation, Betty and Leonard went on with their meal. Wow, you're right. This is good, Leonard commented. Told you, Betty replied with a smirk. Leonard was about to take another bite of his lasagna when his phone rang. He took out his phone and is going to put it on silent when he saw the name of the caller. It's from campus security, Leonard informed Betty. Her face turned into a frown since there's no real reason for campus security to call Leonard that late at night. He answered the call and put it on speaker. Hello. Is this Dr. Sampson? The caller asked. Yes. This is Jason Rogers, sir, your office has been ransacked. Rogers replied, causing Leonard to panic. Being the school's resident psychiatrist meant that he has a lot of sensitive information. We're already securing the office and already placed the building on lockdown. I would like to know if you would take a look right now or wait until the morning. Leonard is having an internal debate. On the one hand, he had a moral and professional obligation to his patients to check on the records to make sure it's still secure. On the other hand, he was finally on a date with Betty Ross. Betty could see Leonard struggling with indecision, so she decided to help him out. Hey Leonard, Betty called out. You should go and check it out. Maybe we could try another time. Leonard released a disappointed sigh. It looks like the universe is working against him. He started to pull out his wallet when she stopped him. Don't worry. I'll handle it. Leonard gave a small nod before standing up from his seat. I hope we could do this again, Leonard replied. Maybe, Betty answered with uncertainty, but Leonard could hear her intentions loud and clear. Go on. Leonard released another sigh before leaving. As he was exiting the pizzeria, another man comes into the building. He would have questioned why someone entered the store when it was supposed to be closed already. The man sat on the seat that Leonard just left, making Betty nervous. Leonard leaving and this guy sitting in front of her is not a coincidence. Stan obviously saw the man walked into his shop, so he approached him. Sorry young man, we close, Stan informed him. Oh, I'm not a customer though I could be. The man replied in a jovial tone. I'm here for your guests. The other guys should know about me. Stan nodded in understanding. Then I should get you something too. Will pizza do? Pizza would be great. As much meat cheese as possible. Coming right up, Stan answered before walking back to the kitchen. The man leaned back to his chair and just stared at Betty, purposely making her nervous. Elizabeth Betty Ross. The man drawled out. I have to say, your dad is one stupid guy. Patriotic but stupid. Betty would have countered the statement if she didn't already know how true it was. Saw him in Brazil a few months ago chasing down your ex. Betty's eyes widened when she heard the man's statement. She can't believe that her father was still looking for Bruce. Bruce is still alive? Betty asked in a whisper. Of course he is, the man answered. It's kinda hard to kill a man that could turn into a green rage monster. Betty's cheek turned a little red from embarrassment. The man stood up and walked towards the bathroom. He's a lot closer than you think. Betty flashed a questioning look. The man tried opening the door, but noticed that it's locked, so he knocked. Eric cautiously opened the door and peeked through the crack. He was obviously surprised when he saw who it is. Naruto, Eric exclaimed. Told you I'm not going to miss this. Stop him from wallowing and bring him out. Naruto replied. Are we supposed to keep him hidden? What can I say? I love love. Who is it? Bruce interjected. My boss, Eric answered. Bruce quickly moved towards the door to take a look at his mysterious benefactor. So he could easily be forgiven to see that his benefactor is in his early 20s. Nice to officially meet you, Doctor. Naruto greeted before going back to his seat. Betty was observing the situation intently, so she was surprised when she saw the third guy walking out of the area. She rubbed her eyes and wiped off the tears forming on her eyes to make sure that what she's seeing is real. Bruce? Betty asked cautiously. Bruce fully expected for Betty to be gone already since he basically avoided everyone from his old life, and Betty is the ultimate nexus point for his past life. Betty? Bruce called back. Betty practically jumped out of her seat and sprinted towards Bruce. In a surprising fashion, Betty slapped Bruce. That's for suddenly leaving me, Betty said passionately before giving him a deep kiss. And that's for coming back. He's not back yet. Naruto interjected awkwardly. He's just visiting, he added. Your dad is still looking for him. Eric placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder, signaling for him to stop. Good thing, too, since Naruto was about to start with how Ross is about to do some questionable human experimentation on Banner. Right? Shutting up now. Betty excitedly pulled Bruce towards their spot, leaving her and Leonard's seat behind. Bruce gestured for Eric and Naruto to sit at the table next to them. Naruto and Eric could feel the nervous energy being released in waves from the couple. He would have ignored the completely normal reaction, but Bruce's increasing heart rate might cause some problems. Your heart rate, doctor, Naruto reminded. Naruto's statement pierced through Bruce's chaotic mind. He took a series of deep breaths while looking at his heart monitor. Thank you, Bruce replied after he calmed himself down. Who are you anyway? All I know is you're Eric's boss. I thought you heard me back when we were huddling in the bathroom. Naruto purposely said with a tone that makes it dirtier than it should be. Well, I'm Naruto Uzumaki if that's what you're asking. No? I mean I want to know that too, but what I really want to know is why are you helping me? Eric already answered that. I don't want to go over that again. Naruto looked at the window and decided to flex a bit. 9 golden chains appeared from his back, surprising both Bruce and Betty. He extended it towards the window shades and closed it. The chains disappeared right when Stan exited the kitchen with a family-size meat and cheese lover's pizza. A smile immediately formed on his face when he saw Bruce and Betty sitting at their booth. And I thought you two would never meet again. Stan let out while serving the pizza to Naruto. It looks like you could eat, so decided to give you large pizza. Naruto's eyes are practically shining when he saw how loaded was the pizza. He took one slice and slowly took one bite. Fucking hell, old man. This is delicious. Naruto exclaimed. How much would you need to move to New York? Stan released a boisterous laugh before answering. I'm not moving, kid. I like it here. Damn, might as well bring some people here sometimes. Bruce took his time, but he finally gathered enough courage to finally start a conversation with Betty. So Samson, huh? Bruce started awkwardly. He's a nice guy. Smart too. Yeah. Betty anxiously replied. Naruto was just eavesdropping on the couple's conversation while eating his pizza when he leaned closer to Eric. Why is it so awkward? Isn't there supposed to be more emotions? Naruto asked in a whisper. Not everything is a movie. Eric deadpanned. You mean I ransacked a guy's office for this boring, awkward meetup? Betty quickly turned his head towards Naruto when she heard his statement. You ransacked Leonard's office, Betty exclaimed. Well, I have to get him out of here somehow, and killing him is most likely out of the options. Naruto answered with a shrug. Of course, that's out of the options. Betty shouted. He's not serious, right? Bruce asked Eric with an almost desperate look. I once saw him kill a guy because he looked at him funny. Eric answered, causing Betty and Bruce's eyes to widen, while Stan only gave Naruto an assessing look. In my defense, he's a Russian mob boss that we are going to kill later that night. Naruto countered. He did at his birthday party in front of almost 100 witnesses. Tumatu. The boss has a few screws loose. Bruce said to Eric. And you told me he could go toe-to-toe with the other guy. That's a scary thought. You should worry about me less and think more about your crumbling love life. Naruto countered. What do you want me to say? Bruce asked in a quiet voice before turning towards Betty and taking her hand. As long as I'm not normal, I'm not going to have a normal life. You deserve better than living your life as a fugitive being chased by your own father. Isn't it supposed to be my choice too? Not yours alone, Betty emphatically replied. You're not listening to me. There's no upside to this. No white picket fence. No 2.5 bath home. Fuck what I deserve. It's what I want that matters. You're still as stubborn as before. Damn, right, I am. Betty exclaimed before continuing in a quiet voice. That's why you love me. That's why I love you. Eric is starting to worry about Bruce, since he might suddenly change with how charged his emotions are right now, while Naruto is just enjoying the show he came for. As for Stan, he's just happy that Bruce and Betty are talking again. Now this is better than a movie. Naruto commented before eating his last slice of pizza. Stanley's Pizza Parlor, Willowdale, Virginia. May 13, 2010, 2200 hours local. As much as I want you two to continue to a poorly lit sex scene. Naruto interrupted the emotionally charged moment, causing Bruce and Betty to release a groan. We still need to deal with some stuff. Like maybe dealing with the soldiers sent to watch over Betty here. Bruce and Betty's eyes immediately widened in alarm, while Eric took out his sidearm and looked out the window. However, he hadn't found anyone outside. You're slipping, boss. There's no one outside. Eric replied, still not entirely putting his guard down. Of course, there's no one outside. Naruto answered before taking a bite out of his pizza. They're following that Samson guy. They think Betty's with him. Set up illusions and all that jazz. Eric immediately reholstered his pistol, but it looks like Betty is still skeptical. Illusions? What are you? Some kind of wizard? Betty asked incredulously. I just think of him as a magical ninja, and everything fits. Eric replied with a shrug. This didn't seem to satisfy the female Ross, since she turned towards her ex, expecting for him to back her up, but his sheepish expression already clued her in his answer. I'm not saying I believe in magic or real-life ninjas, but I'm a 5'8" nerd that can turn into a 12 green berserker that violates the law of conservation of mass or law of conservation of energy if you're picky. That's got to count for something. The golden chains certainly support that claim. Bruce countered. Besides, I kinda trust Eric over there since he helped in the past 3 months. Anyway, Naruto cut Betty off when he saw that she would argue. I gotta go, but you can stay. You responsible adults. He added while pulling out a bundle of $100 bills and placing it on the table. And you, Miss Ross. Be careful when you decide to visit again. Remember, your dad is a paranoid patriotic asshole. He finished before standing up from his seat, leaving a flabbergasted Elizabeth Ross. It was only when Naruto was near Stan that everyone else at the table noticed that Naruto's pizza was gone. Where did? Betty stammered out. Told you. Magic Ninja. Eric answered nonchalantly before taking another pizza slice. Meanwhile, Naruto approached Stan somewhat cautiously. Ever since Naruto restarted the Earth's pulse and started to use his Sage mode to take regularly a census of the world, he had been detecting these weird chakra signatures. However, every time he comes close to one, it always disappears before appearing on the other side of the planet. Naruto had already dubbed the signature as the copycat. Luckily, there seems to be one right here and now. Stan, right? Naruto asked, to which Stan nodded. You look after those two, right? He gestured towards Bruce and Betty. Eric can handle himself in almost any situation. Stan released a chuckle before answering. Don't worry. I'll watch over them. Stan replied. You can say it's my full-time job. He added cryptically. Stark's private plane, Atlantic Ocean. May 21st, 2010, 1300 hours local. The Potts Stark family, including Happy, Natalie and Naruto, are currently on their way to watch the Monaco Grand Prix. One of the few sports events Tony regularly watches. Over the past 2 weeks, Pepper has already implemented a few of her ideas that she hadn't been able to do since she wasn't the CEO, even though she has been arguably running the company in the past few years, due to Tony's aversion to paperwork and meetings. Her husband's death timer that's been hovering her head in the past few days was temporarily pushed to the back of her mind to spend some time with her family. The only upside with Tony's condition is Naruto's certainty that he can heal Tony or, at the very least, remove the heavy metal in the bloodstream regularly. Only Tony's pride in finding the solution himself has prevented Naruto from completely healing the gaping chest cavity. I heard Vanity Fair is going to do a piece on Hammer. Pepper said while looking through her tablet detailing Stark Industries' projected growth rate. Ha! They can't get an interview with me, so they went to that second-rate poser. Tony replied while eating burgers with Morgan. Despite their hectic lifestyle and the looming death timer, Tony and Pepper are still relatively hands-on parents. The couple also decided to make this outing Morgan's first official public appearance. A couple of pictures has been posted online, but it never saw the light of day due to Jarvis's deep net scanning algorithm. The Stark heiress's first public outing has also made Happy a very unhappy guy. Creating a security plan and coordinating the detail is a pain in the ass. Even after all the background checks and interviews while strapped into a lie detector, Happy decided to use the security sent from SI Italy, mainly for crowd control. Only he and Naruto would stay with the family. To be honest, Happy is still not sure what to think about the blonde mercenary, but there are two things he's sure of. 1. Naruto is a one-person army with his ability to multiply and disguise himself, and 2. He can instantly transport everyone away. Happy? Tony. Naruto called out suddenly after standing up from his seat beside Natalie. We need to talk. He added before walking towards the bedroom to get some privacy. Tony gave Pepper a small shrug before scooting Morgan over to her mother. He stood up and walked just behind Happy to the bedroom. I know I'm hot and all, but you're just not my type. Tony joked with his usual smirk. You don't have the boob or the ass for you to be my type. Naruto countered before pulling up 2 aside tablets and handed them over to Tony and Happy. Anton Vanko. Russian scientist. A brilliant one at that. Basically built half what powers your chest. Tony looked up from the tablet and stared down at Naruto when he heard the tail end of his statements. My dad built the arc reactor. Toyn stated. Correction. Howard and Anton built the reactor. You can see the original plans on your tablet. Copied them from SHIELD archives itself. Naruto could clearly see the disbelief on Tony's face. You can read up on Anton later cause that's not as important. It's his son. Ivan. Why? What's he gonna do? Happy asked. Well, he built a homemade suit with a working arc reactor, and he plans to either kill or discredit Tony at Monaco GP in front of the whole world. You know. The usual. Fuck. Tony and Happy said at the same time. Contrary to popular belief, most of the parts currently used on the Iron Man armor are only a decade or 2 ahead of the competition. Any smart enough group with a significant amount of resources can build their own suit. The only hurdle almost anyone can't overcome is the power generation problem. The suits use a ton of power even in their idle state, and conventional energy production and storage just can't keep up with the demand. That's where the arc reactor comes in. It can produce the same amount of energy as a small nuclear reactor, with a size smaller than a can of Coke. The moment someone else figured out how to make the arc reactor or something similar, it could kickstart another global arms race. So what are we going to do about this? Tony asked a little meekly. I can erase him, but it would leave a lot of questions. A few intelligence agencies are already on his tail and protecting him to make sure he meets with you. I guess they really want to make sure the Iron Man tech goes public, Naruto answered. Tony walked back and forth across the room to think of a solution, while Happy pulled out his phone to call the assigned security to upgrade their gear with high-caliber weapons and grenades. I got it. Instead of hiding it, we'll do what you do best. We'll make a spectacle out of it and prove that your gear is still a few generations ahead. You just got to make sure you wipe the floor with his face, Naruto suggested. Tony released a groan and ran his hands through his hair. And I thought I could have a quiet vacation for once. Monaco Heliport, Monaco. May 21st, 2010, 1800 hours local. Alright. I already coordinated with the local PD and what this country could call military. They're setting up a perimeter and evacuating civilians, Naruto said after he returned from escorting Pepper, Morgan, Happy, and Natalie to the hotel and contacting the local government. Vanko still hasn't realized what's happening yet, but I wouldn't expect it to last for long. He's tuning up his exo armor and whips. I still can't believe that he uses electric whips. There's like a whole bag of tricks he could have used. Why did he have to use the kinkiest thing he could have to think of? Tony complained. He hasn't stopped complaining about the electric whips as soon as Naruto told him about Ivan Vanko's peculiar weapon choice. Something about using the arc reactor inadvertently attaching his name to whips. Don't kink shame, man. Naruto rebutted before pulling up his phone and showing a holographic image of Monaco. Jarvis already has the data, but I'll show you just in case. He's staying in a building south of the International University of Monaco. It's been under renovation for almost a month now. The city engineers would check it the day after Monaco GP, so the building is all clear. The intelligence agencies keeping track of Vanko moved a few blocks away from the area because of the evacuation. Though, they're still trying to reverse the order, but the prince will lose face if he cancels the operation now. Tony can't help but give Naruto a skeptical look. What did you do? He asked. Naruto released a half-assed chuckle while scratching the back of his head. I kinda gave Monaco PD a job order courtesy of Nine Tails. So it's either you deal with Vanko or a mercenary with the reputation of leaving hard-to-clean messes. The answer is quite clear after that. Why do I let you be around Morgan again? Cause I'm an overpowered pseudo-demigod, and you're an overprotective father. Naruto deadpanned. Right. Remind me to set an appointment with a shrink, would you? Tony countered before looking at his watch. When he saw that it's already 5:15, he sat down the red and silver briefcase down and looked at Naruto. Showtime. Naruto looked at his phone to check if the trucks blocked the intersections going to the building are in position. Showtime. Naruto replied with a grin. Tony kicked the briefcase and stepped on the silver step pad, opening up the case. Naruto can't help but feel impressed with how the suit-up sequence looks. The overlapping plates did a small calibration before Tony flew quickly high up in the air. Monaco Heliport, Monaco. May 21st, 2010, 1820 local. Sitting in one of the empty offices, a 5'11" Caucasian man is sitting down in front of the television eating some kind of soup. He has dark brown eyes and a scar under his left eye. His shoulder-length black hair has white streaks on them. The TV is playing the news, particularly the arrival of the Stark family. For some reason, Tony Stark was not present when the family arrived at the hotel, and it's triggering an alarm in his brain. That alarm made him realize something. It's too quiet. No traffic. No honking of horns. No pedestrians. It should be impossible for metropolitan city-states like Monaco. Ivan didn't survive so long in Moscow's underground by not listening to his instincts. He rapidly put on his suit before taking a peek at the window. That was probably a wrong decision. Tony, in his Iron Man suit, burst through the window, sending shards of glass straight to Ivan's face. This caused multiple lacerations to appear on his face. Wow. That's an improvement. It would be best if you kept it like that, Tony quipped, trying to get a reaction from Vanko. Stark. Vanko growled out. It's a bit early for our meeting, but this will do. He added before electrifying his suit and whips. One thing, how did you know I was here? I got an overpowered ninja working for me, Tony answered with a shrug. Fine. Talk's over. Vanko tried to get momentum for his whips, but the closed environment of the office space is severely hindering him. He can't get enough space for both his 15-feet whips, so he has no choice but to go on defense, while Tony pelts him with repulsor blasts. Tony, on his part, refrained from using any of his deadlier armaments, since he needs to bring him in alive for the plan to work. It's quite simple, really. They'll use Vanko as a lightning rod for every asshole interested in his tech. It didn't take long for Tony to overwhelm Vanko, since he has all the advantages. They were fighting in a small and contained room, severely restricting Vanko. Naruto has placed impromptu lightning-resistant seals, making Tony practically immune to the whips. Although Tony already made a mental note to add capacitors so he can use any electrical source, including lightning, to charge up the arc reactor, if he can live that long. Finally, there's the difference of quality between the arc reactors used, with Tony's being at least having twice the power output. In a desperate bid to get away and salvage his derailed plan, Vanko ran towards the broken window, hoping to jump through it, but Tony beat him to it. Tony grabbed onto one of Vanko's whips and pulled him back hard. Vanko tried to get the whip out of Tony's grasp, but a baseline human can't fight against an Iron Man armor. When Vanko got close, Tony grabbed onto Vanko's chest piece and crushed it right then and there. Tony waited for Vanko's whip to power down before restraining him to the ground. "Darvis, call the cavalry, would you?" "Of course, sir." Vanko laid down on the floor quietly, but Tony remained vigilant, waiting for Monaco PD and the transport vehicle. It didn't take long for them to hear footsteps rushing towards their location. Before the police got into the room, however, Vanko left one final message. "If you could make God bleed, people would cease to believe in him. There will be blood in the water, the sharks will come. That's what I'm waiting for." Direction General de la Sécurité Extérieure, DGSE, Paris, France. May 21, 2010, 16:10 local. Alexander Pierce was having a good day. He didn't wake up because of an alarm clock. The food and coffee were excellent. He was able to make a work trip into a pseudo-holiday. Hydra recouped 30% of their losses the previous year by selling a lot of their proprietary techs to the legitimate market. The Nine Tails is letting up on the seemingly one-sided vendetta against them. And the piece to resistance is that they would be able to get their hands on the Iron Man armor. Fury found out about a possible threat to Tony Stark himself a few months ago, and what a threat he is. The son of the disgraced Ivan Vanko making his own arc reactor. Pierce volunteered himself to coordinate with the DGSE for S.H.I.E.L.D. This way, he could have some form of information control on both agencies. They just need to make a giant spectacle out of Vanko, and they'll be able to corner the arrogant asshole. It's not like they'll share the whole tech with the French. There's just one thing, though. He was having a good day. The downhill trend started in the afternoon when one of his aides informed him of a peculiar development. Someone contacted Monaco PD, the military, and the prince himself about a dangerous criminal with high-tech gear, and requesting support for Iron Man to deal with the situation. Although blindsided, Pierce didn't panic but tried to salvage the situation. With the help of the French, they tried to leverage Prince Albert II to rescind or at least delay the support, but it's already too late. There's also the fact that Nine Tails threatened them to let Stark handle the situation. The Nine Tails is also probably how Stark found out about Vanko. They moved back all agents in the area, including the Hydra agents, just to make sure they retained their covers. The other intelligence agencies also pulled back their operators. That didn't mean shit though. Each agency received a goddamn email with a link to a live stream of their agents. Including fucking Hydra. How the hell did Nine Tails even found the email for the HR department for Hydra agents under S.H.I.E.L.D.? Some might think that having an HR department for an underground organization might be stupid, but the resources saved by having an HR outweighs the cons. Anyway, everyone would need to pull all their agents out of the region. Sir Ivan Vanko has been apprehended and is currently in Maison Derrit, waiting for arraignment. An aide informed Pierce, snapping him out of his thoughts. It looks like we can still salvage this clusterfuck. Pierce pulled out his phone and called a number. "Have you heard?" "Yes, Sir Vanko in Maison Derrit." Sewell asked for confirmation. "Yes, that." Pierce confirmed. "Leak the news on everything you can think of. Blow it out of proportions if you have to. Just make sure I can watch it on the evening news." "Already on it, sir." "Also, find someone who can get Vanko out. Either make him look dead or get him out clean." There was a brief moment of silence before Sitwell replied. "Are you open for a third party to do this, sir?" "What have you got in mind?" "Hammer, sir, smart enough to do the job, but stupid enough to be disposable. He has more than enough reasons to do anything to get ahead of Tony Stark." "Very well. Use Stern to contact Hammer." Pierce replied before ending the call. "Hail Hydra," Pierce whispered to himself. Monaco GP VIP room, Monaco. May 22, 2010, 1400 hours local. The first official outing of the Stark family and the hidden heiress Morgan Stark caused what would aptly be called a media frenzy. Photos of the secret heiress were officially released after the Stark Potts wedding, causing people's hearts to melt for the adorable munchkin. The general public's reaction is overwhelmingly positive, causing the media to scrounge up for information even almost half a year after the reveal. The breaking news the night before and suspiciously quick press release by Tony Stark didn't help the media's bloodlust one bit. Stark security detail has their work cut out for them, holding back the venerable tsunami of people. "I didn't know that Morgan is this famous," Naruto whispered out of the Stark retinue hearing range to Natalie, who was still acting like a damsel in distress in front of the horde. "I told you to open up the news or even social media from time to time. Not just playing with your computer games," Natalie replied. "Hey, I love those games. I can kill all the people I want with no repercussions." "You already do that anyway." "Nope. Real life has repercussions. I mean, my suits get all dirty with blood and stuff." Natasha couldn't help but agree with that statement. One of the worst parts of the job is getting blood and grime on the designer clothes. You should have brought Jessica. I'll pick her when the race is about to start. You know how she hates to dress up. Naruto replied while scanning the crowd. Wait here for a second. Naruto walked quickly to the front of the crowd and pushed off some people getting a bit too close to the family for comfort. Happy, we need to get out of here. We're moving like a snail. Morgan looks like getting a bit scared. Naruto shouted. Alright, that's it. Happy opened his tactical microphone for his radio. Let's push these guys out of the way. I want to be inside the building in 3 minutes. Like a well-oiled machine, the security detail pushed their way through the crowd and moved their way to the VIP building. It didn't take long for the Stark family, including Happy, Naruto, and Natalie to enter the building, leaving the security detail outside as crowd control. Next time, we'll skip the public appearance and just drive right next to the building. Pepper stated seriously. Tony couldn't help but nod, seeing the people outside. Even as famous as he is, he never got mobbed like that. So it's probably because he's married or Morgan. Most probably Morgan. They entered the room and were all prepared to move on and enjoy the rest of the day when something just have to ruin it. Tony, good to see you and your family here. Dustin fucking Hammer. Monaco GP VIP room, Monaco. May 22nd, 2010, 14:30 local. Tony, good to see you and your family here. Justin Hammer greeted the Stark family with his slimy, over-the-top confidence swagger. Pepper almost unconsciously moved Morgan out of Hammer's line of sight. Tony stepped forward to greet Hammer while covering the fact that he's hiding Pepper and Morgan. Naruto and Natalie were fascinated by how Pepper and Tony both perceived Hammer as a possible threat at the sidelines acting together, just like a pair of wolves protecting their pup. Naruto can't even blame them since Hammer kind of reminds him of Gato. Both are overconfident assholes with fuck ton of money who just happens to be pussies. And they smell bad too, can't forget about that. Why the hell did he even buy those kinds of cologne? Hey, my least favorite people on earth. Tony greeted with a fake smile, clearly not wanting to talk with Hammer. Hey, pal. But Hammer clearly decided just to ignore Tony's tone and push through the conversation. How did you get in here? Shouldn't you be on the floor below? Some people have fancy cars too, you know. Oh right. You guys had to rush to build your car, and it barely passed the committee. Some were even suggesting to downgrade your car to Formula 2 just in case. Naruto, with his enhanced hearing, could hear Hammer grinding his teeth. So he signaled Natasha to take Pepper and Morgan away and seat them on a table. There's no way in hell Naruto would miss Tony roasting Hammer. How about we make a little bet? Tony just raised his eyebrow to show his curiosity. My team will finish on the podium for the Constructors' Championship. Tony couldn't help but release a full-blown laugh, followed by a chuckle from Naruto. Oh, come on Justin. Can't even take the championship from me. Hammer's expression darkened for a bit before he covered it up with his usual expression. Be careful Tony. I have a presentation at your expo that might just bite you in the ass. Hammer couldn't be more ominous if he tried. Well, I wish you the best. I think. Tony replied before walking away. The bug is still active, right? Naruto asked when they're quite a distance away from everyone. Nope, already gone. Tony replied, emphasizing the P. The seal. Do you even have to ask? Of course, it's active. Naruto pulled out his phone and sent a quick text before continuing. Vanko is already in the land of baguettes. It's almost 100% certain that they'll fuck up somewhere, and he'll die. You know how it is. Then the copycat will land in the hands of another copycat. Tony groaned out. He really hates copycats. They moved towards their reserved table at the corner of the room. Morgan was already eating a cheeseburger, while Pepper ordered a house salad. She also ordered a steak for Tony, which was already placed at the table. Natasha placed herself at a cocktail table near the Starks drinking scotch on the rocks. So, naturally, Naruto parked himself next to her to deter anyone from making the femme fatale. What's a dame like you doing in a dump like this? Naruto started with the best 40s gangster from New York he can muster. The guy did me wrong. There have been a lot of people in my life, all of them fighters. Natasha answered while playing with the whiskey glass. Then there comes this guy, he's not like anyone I've ever met. He doesn't want to be a fighter. He just wanted to have a vacation. Naruto's smile cracked when he heard the final part. Why do I sound so lame? I'm a baddest guy, right? Naruto practically begged, causing Natasha to release a chuckle. Let's pick up Jess while Stark is busy with Elon Musk, trying to convince him for another collab for Tesla. No matter the situation, Natasha would always be professional in a job. So it didn't surprise Naruto one bit that she kept one ear to the Stark table while they were flirting. We were having a moment, and you pushed to another girl. The audacity. Naruto jokingly said before walking away. Naruto gave Natasha one last wink before entering the emergency fire exit, since it's empty according to his senses. From the other side of the door, it would look like Naruto got inside the door and got out 5 seconds later with a leather jacket wearing woman. I mean, it's a great weekend getaway. You just have to remember that you haven't met Natalie yet. I already know that. You don't need to remind me. Jessica interjected. And it's an open bar. Naruto finished. Why didn't you start with that? Let's go. Jessica pulled Naruto towards the bar. She might not be considered an alcoholic, but it can't be denied that she still has a huge appreciation for alcohol, especially if it's free. It didn't take long for the couple to get their drinks and walk towards the Starks table. Morgan was the first one to see them approaching. Her smile could even bring Jessica to grin, even though she claims to hate children. Jessie! Morgan shouted as soon as she jumped off her seat to run towards Jessica. Jessica had no choice but to catch the torpedo masquerading as a girl. Tony and Pepper were quite surprised to see Jessica at Monaco, since she always hated being anywhere with plenty of people. As far as Pepper knows, Jessica barely managed to be at their wedding. Happy birthday, kiddo. We haven't seen each other for a while, Jessica said while lifting Morgan. Naruto noticed that noise inside the room significantly died down. He looked around and saw that some are intently staring at Jessica carrying Morgan. Most of them were gossips or reporters. Naruto knew he forgot to say something, and that's Morgan's birthday was still a secret to limit media attention. It's a good thing that Jessica's attention was entirely drawn to Morgan. Well, not good precisely, since Natasha was watching the scene and noticed that Jessica had not reached Nat's desired situational awareness. Naruto subtly moved Jessica to sit down at the Starks table, facing away from the rest of the room while she's still entertaining Morgan. Sorry for the mess, Naruto whispered to Pepper. Pepper was already feeling the headache of having to deal with the media frenzy their back-to-back news appearance caused. Sometimes, Pepper would think that Tony passed the company to her, not because of his palladium poisoning, but because he doesn't want to deal with all the bullshit. Naruto walked towards Natalie and brought her over to the table. Jess, meet Natalie Rushman, Pepper's new assistant. Nat, this is Jessica Jones, my girlfriend. Naruto introduced them to each other. The two acted that they quickly got on with each other. Tony looked at Jessica and Natalie flabbergasted before looking at Naruto with the same expression. How the fuck do you do that? They should be fighting or at least trying to stake a claim. Tony shouted at Naruto. I'm just lucky that way. Naruto's answer caused Tony's eyebrow to twitch. Hammer Industries R&D, New York City, New York. May 24, 2010, 9 o'clock local. Dustin Hammer couldn't get rid of the giddy smile off his face. He and his company has been trying to recreate Tony's Iron Man armor in the past year with little headway. The suit they have created was clunky, unresponsive, unintuitive, and glitchy. The last thing was the worst part, since it could randomly paralyze the user. Now, he's receiving a gift from an anonymous benefactor. He might know much about this mysterious benefactor of his, but their interests certainly align. They both want access to the Iron Man armor, and they want to humiliate Tony Stark while doing so. If he didn't know any better, he would think his benefactor was Senator Stearns. Anyway, Hammer's benefactor contacted him that they were going to deliver a gift. A gift that could bring down the Stark dynasty. Hammer entered one of the more isolated rooms inside his R&D building, and saw a guy with a black bag over his head. He ordered one of his guards to remove the bag. What he saw was a calm and collected man with multiple lacerations on his face. Ivan Vanko. Oh, how I wanted to meet you. Hammer started with his usual flourish. He moved to the seat placed in front of Vanko and sat down. Ask me what I want. Come on, ask. What do you want? Ivan asked with a heavy Russian drawl. Well, long term, I want them to put me in the Pentagon for the next 25 years. I want to make Iron Man look like an antique. I want to go to that Stark Expo. I want to take a dump in Tony's front yard. Hammer said with a slowly darkening expression. You know what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. With your brains and my resources, we could run Tony's name to the ground. Hammer extended his hands towards Ivan. What do you say, partner? Ivan raised his eyebrow and waited for a hot minute before reaching for Hammer's hand. Instead of a quick shake of an agreement Hammer expected, Vanko surprised him by pulling him close and staring at him dead in the eye. I want my bird. Your bird? Hammer asked, understandably confused. Yes, my bird. In Russia. In Russia. Sure. We can get your bird. Stark Mansion, Los Angeles, California. May 29, 2010, 10 o'clock local. Sir Colonel Rhodes is at the gate, Jarvis announced while the family was having breakfast. The Starks decided to have a slow day since it's Tony's birthday. Unlike other years, Tony opted out of having a lavish birthday celebration. Instead, he's going to have a small get-together of close friends and family, which is essentially just 7 people, including Tony. 8 if Natalie comes, which she would definitely do since she still has a job to do. Oh, come on. It's not even morning yet. Tony grumbled, exaggeratedly causing Morgan to giggle. It's already 10, Tony. It's already morning. Pepper countered. Let Rhodey and Jarvis. Yes, Mrs. Potts. It didn't take Rhodey 5 minutes to enter the dining room. Happy birthday, Tones. Rhodey said while moving around the room, greeting the other members of the Stark family, kissing Pepper on the cheek and Morgan a hug. I hear you got a gift for me. Aren't I supposed to be the one getting presents since it's my birthday? Tony responded. Oh right, how can I forget? Rody retrieved a thick hard drive from inside his jacket and handed it over to Tony. DARPA programs and specs. All yours to peruse. Tony immediately adopted an excited expression. No matter how smart he was, he can't think of everything. DARPA projects are one of the best projects to tinker around. A lot of their projects aren't patented, only kept in secrecy. They will only patent it right before it's going public. It means he can play with stuff all he wants without repercussions. Things he didn't create himself. Boys, no work stuff on the table. Pepper interjected before it can get more out of hand. Grab a plate. There's some omelet and bacon left on the pan. There's garlic bread in the oven. Don't mind if I do, Peps. Tony's Garage, Los Angeles, California. May 29, 2010, 11 o'clock local. So, where's my suit? Rody giddily asked. Can't wait till after lunch, huh? I can't blame you, though. Tony walked to his work table and sat down in front of it. He took a gulp of his chlorophyll shake and leaned back on his chair. Rody held himself back from commenting about Tony's chlorophyll shake and the reason why he's drinking it. Jarvis, bring up Vault 6, please. Of course, Sir Jarvis replied. A cylindrical display case rose from the ground. One side of the tube was made of transparent material to show off what's inside. An armor with gun silver coloring and black highlights was shown in all its glory. That is what you military man would call overkill or excessive force. It got 2-inch high density armor layered on top of reactive armor. Jarvis was highlighting and showing the specs of the area using holograms at the same time as Tony. Dual wrist-mounted silenced 9mm machine guns, 200 rounds each. Midline mounted, dual alternating prototype railguns sending grain-sized slivers of metal at Mach 10 speed. Shoulder and leg-mounted missiles. 12 flight control surfaces for maximum maneuverability. Finally, repulsor afterburners to enable the behemoth to fly at Mach 2.5 speed. Damn, Tony. You don't need to them dirty. Rody said, more than just impressed with the suit. So what's the downside? Otherwise, you'll just put this stack in your armor. 3 things. First, it has a significantly shorter operational time while using it in heavy combat situations. 6 hours compared to my 15. Secondly, it doesn't have many non-lethal options, as you can see with the loadout. Finally, it's a step down in speed, agility, ground maneuverability, and strength compared to my suit. A lot of the internal mechanics have to be moved around or removed altogether to make space for the ammo and armor. Tony explained. Understandable. Rody replied while still looking at the suit. So, what do I call this baby? War Machine Mark 1. Tony released an excited grin before continuing. Wanna test it out? Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed. If you want the next part of this video, like, subscribe and comment down below, and turn on the bell notification. And also check out other videos that I have created and enjoy. See you in the next video. Peace.